Don't tell anyone. Bit of morning delight. We're doing one transfer for every Premier League. The door's open. We're doing one transfer for every Premier League club. It's currently the transfer window, which is why we're doing this. And teams will be making transfers. So what we're going to do is suggest one that they should be making. We'll start with Bournemouth, because we're going in alphabetical order like normal people. I've suggested that they go for a right back, because they've currently got Fredericks and Smith, who are crap. So they need someone who can take that role, who's been waiting for a first team opportunity in the Premier League, and I think Max Aarons is that person.
Yeah. That's a great shot.
Norwich.
Been looking for the move from Norwich for a while.
Exactly.
He's been linked with clubs for ages as well.
He's been waiting
going up and down.
Exactly. He's never really been able to find a spot at a big club. And I just think Bournemouth have been able to sign players like Justin Kluivert, who we thought would maybe go to a bigger club and stuff like that. So I thought maybe Max Aarons they could get for a decent fee.
Yeah, that'd be a great sign.
And they've got a long-term right back for hopefully a long time in the Premier League for them. Who have you gone for Bournemouth?
Well, it's a bit of a stinker, but Lerma has gone to Palace, hasn't he? So I've gone for Oliver Skipper. I think he was all right at Tottenham last year. He got a few minutes, but he's not good enough to play for Tottenham, is he? Really?
Not really. No.
I think it would be a decent signing for Bournemouth, decent replacement for Lerma.
Yeah, it's definitely a solid signing, and I think Spurs would be able to. Well, they'd be willing to take a small fee for Skip. Arsenal. We're getting more interested now. Who have you suggested for them?
Well, this is actually quite boring because Rice has been announced yesterday, so I've just put Keith Balogun to be honest, just because we've put a price tag on him for 50 mil, but we won't go any lower than 35 or something. I think we should get rid of Nketiah personally and keep Balogun. Well, I don't really want to get rid of Nketiah, but if it's one or the other, then I think we've got to stay with Balogun personally.
I mean, Balogun was scoring goals for fun in Ligue 1. I can't say I've ever watched him play, but I've seen some of his numbers, and they've gone in one ear and out the other. But I'm sure they were big. So I think that would be. I think that's a really good move to move Nketiah on after he's had a good stint in the Premier League. Maybe another club will be willing to take him on. I've just suggested Ben Johnson because Arsenal are interested in him anyway, or because that's really boring and it's probably not going to happen. Just leave it there. I don't think you really need anyone else, to be honest.
We've made some good signings. Timber, Rice and Havertz. I think we've literally filled the three spots we literally needed a bit of strength. We could maybe do with like a striker. Yeah. But we're not going to go big bucks on a striker now. That's why I just think keep Balogun, you know what I mean? And then it fixes that problem.
That's a great shout. And I think, while we do think a lot of Arsenal's success in the transfer window is to do with the players they did end up signing, I think a lot of it is to do with Arteta just not overdoing it. Because there's past transfer windows where he could have easily signed one or two more players, but he just thought, no, this is enough. I've got my squad now. There's no need to overdo it like a certain other London club have. Aston Villa, who have you gone for?
Who have I gone for? See, mine aren't in alphabetical order. That's the issue here. Oh yeah, I've gone for Nico Williams from Atletico Bilbao.
Wow.
I just think he's a young, really talented winger. He's got a decent amount of games this year in what is it now? Is it Liga Santander?
La Liga Santander. I think so. I think it's still that.
And
I remember when it was Big BVA.
I think they could do with another winger. I think Buendia. I don't know. I think he deserves to play in the Premier League, but I don't think he's at the level they want to be.
Yeah.
At the minute.
And he's more of a number 10 type, really.
Yeah, as well.
As opposed to a winger.
And I feel like they're chucking him on the left a bit too much and on the right. Yeah. So.
Well, I think Nico Williams is a great shot, and I think he's going to get a big move at some point. I've gone similar player, Samuel Chukwueze, a promising young winger in La Liga, playing for Villarreal, worked with Unai Emery. He will probably cost them a decent amount of money. But I think if they can get their hands on someone like Chukwueze or Nico Williams, I think would be a good signing as well. They really need some wingers. Really, the only proper good winger they've got is Leon Bailey, and they've had to shove Jacob Ramsey on the left, which you don't really want to do with your best young player playing that position.
No. And he's not exactly great on the left, is he? I mean,
they're in dire need of a winger, and I think either of those two options would be great. Brentford, it was the toughest one for me. because their transfer policy is quite strange to me, and I don't know if they're actually going to go for a striker or a forward, or if they're going to stick with what they've got.
What's their transfer policy? What's that?
It's just a bit. I don't think they have a set transfer strategy, but I just think the way that they've gone about their transfers, sort of getting young English or British talent, is a bit strange. I can't remember them really signing a big foreign name.
Yeah.
So for me, I've sort of just sidestepped the whole forward line, because I think Thomas Frank might be happy with the options he's got there already. So I think they need more reinforcements in the midfield, and I've gone for Weston McKennie. He's linked with Aston Villa. He's going to be moving Juventus, moving from Juventus, it looks like anyway, because he's not being involved in pre-season a lot. And I think Brentford could get him. He'd probably be one of their more expensive signings, but if they can get their hands on someone like Weston McKennie,
signing for them. Yeah, big signing. Really good.
Who have you gone for?
Well, I've heard Pontus Jansson's left recently. Has he gone to Saudi?
Malmo.
Oh, he's gone to Malmo.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So is that? I assume did he play there in Sweden before or something?
Probably. Yeah.
Where have I put it now? Oh yeah, I went for, funny enough, another ex-Leeds centre back, that Llorente.
Ooh.
Spanish guy. Yeah, I mean they've just gone down, but I mean he's quite a good centre back, and I think he could be good for them. Was he a left-footed one? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Well, I feel like I'm getting him and Pau Torres mixed up for some reason. But yeah.
No, yeah, Llorente at Leeds. I think that'd be a great signing for them. They've already got Nathan Collins, but they need more options. There, definitely.
And he's quite a tall centre back as well. I think he'll be a great signing for them.
Yeah, fantastic signing. For Brighton, I mean, for me, I just went obvious. Levi Colwill. He was on loan there last season.
Oh, yeah.
Had a great season, but the thing is, I just don't think they're going to quite be able to do it, because I think other clubs are interested. And Chelsea said they really want to keep him, so I've just gone for Facundo Medina. He's a left-footed centre back in Ligue 1, playing for Lens or Lens. I don't know. His tackling and blocking and intercepting stats aren't great, but he's great at passing. He's great on the ball, and I just think it would be a nice, sound signing. He's 24 years old, Argentinian. Feels like a Brighton signing. Who have you gone for Brighton?
Who have I gone for? Where did I put? Oh yeah. So I think Lamptey. He's not cutting it anymore. I don't think. I've gone for Calabria at AC Milan. He's on the market for 20 million value at the minute. And he's for that price. He's an absolute bargain.
That'd be a great move for them.
Yeah, perfect for Brighton.
They're crying out for right back.
Much. And I mean, they were great in the Champions League last year, and he's a really solid right back.
Am I right in saying De Zerbi's Italian? I think he is.
Oh yeah.
So maybe there's some kind of link there. Calabria and De Zerbi. I think that'd be a perfect signing for Brighton at right back, actually. Now Burnley, the promoted teams were always hard. They're always difficult because we don't really know much about their squad. But who have you suggested?
I think like we say, we don't really know much about their squad. But I put Dewsbury Hall. From Leicester. Because I just thought, I'm trying to think of players who've gone down who should play in the Premier League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought Dewsbury Hall. I thought he was all right for Leicester the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So
I think he deserves a spot in the
for Burnley. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, and I think he could work for company really well. I struggled a lot more than you. You've actually come up with a very interesting transfer. I've just gone really boring. Just make Ian Martson permanent. He's the left back they had on loan from Chelsea last season. He was really important for them, really important for company. And I've just said just focus on making that permanent. That because I honestly can't even pretend like I know how Burnley play or who would be good for them. No. But Dewsbury Hall would be a really good signing for them, I think. Now Chelsea, they need players across the front line. They need players in the midfield. Who have you suggested?
Well, I haven't even gone for midfield actually.
Really?
I feel like they need another striker personally. So it's a bit boring, but I've just put Vlahovic.
Yeah.
I just don't think it really kicked off for him at Juventus. I don't know that doesn't really earn him a move to Chelsea, but I think they finished 12th last year.
Yeah.
The amount of strikers they go through, you might as well just give him a shot. He's really tall, he's left-footed. It gives something a bit different. They're trying it with Lukaku, but I think he's a similar kind of player to Lukaku. I think obviously not as strong and stuff, but I think he's a similar striker. But obviously now they've got Pochettino, I think he likes Harry Kane, for example. So I think a Vlahovic kind of striker could work.
Yeah. That'd be a really sound signing, and there's a reason that Juventus are looking to replace Vlahovic with Lukaku, because they are like quite similar players, but Vlahovic has, he can still be coached. Lukaku is sort of past that point now. You know what he does and he's going to do it. Vlahovic can still be coached through other things, and I think that'd be a really sound signing for them. And I agree, they do really need a proper number 9 because Nico Jackson, just as much as he's a good player, I don't think he's going to cut it.
Yeah, and I think they got a striker from Brazil as well, a young striker, but obviously, no doubt they'll send him on loan for 7 years or some shit like that.
Something stupid. So, I mean, you've gone for Vlahovic, I've gone for someone sort of similar, proper number 9, Gonçalo Ramos at Benfica. He's a young Portuguese striker, saw him at the World Cup a little bit. He had to replace Ronaldo, came in and scored a few goals. I think he'd probably cost a lot more than Vlahovic, which is weird. Which is why I think maybe Vlahovic is probably a better transfer to go for. But Gonçalo Ramos, just in my head, just feels like a Chelsea player already.
Yeah.
And I think
I can see it. Yeah.
I think if they can get either of these two number 9s, they'll be in a really good spot. Crystal Palace.
I've got 2 for Palace actually. Well, I've put Nketiah.
Okay.
I'd rather we get rid of him to keep Balogun, as we said.
Yeah.
And also, they've been trying to get a striker for ages. It's not Edouard. It's not worked out. Mateta.
Not worked out.
You know, the name's gone. Benteke. Even.
Benteke. Batshuayi they had at one point.
Yeah.
Just never worked out.
So and also I've heard Zaha could be going to Lazio because he wants to play in Europe. So I put. Funny enough, we were saying it. I put Buendia.
Oh wow!
I thought maybe that could be a bit of a decent replacement.
Okay.
I know we were saying he's not much of a winner, Buendia, but I think Zaha does a similar role to Grealish did at Villa, where like you could just sort of play literally across the entire front four because he is their main man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Buendia could be a good signing for Palace to replace Zaha. Or maybe not replace him, but fill that role for a bit.
And if they've got players like Eze, Elise, Buendia, all really similar players who can rotate as wingers and midfielders, I think that'd be a really good move for them. And I think Hodgson would probably love a player like Buendia. I've gone for a Zaha replacement as well. But I've gone a different direction. I've gone for more of like a striker type, and I've gone for Wilfried Gnonto, who played for Leeds. Yeah. He can play similar role to Zaha, striker.
Only 19 as well, isn't he?
Yeah. He's really young. I think he deserves a spot in the Premier League, like a lot of the players who've gone down. I think he's been linked with I think it's Everton at the minute. I think they've inquired about him. And I think
I can't believe they've signed Ashley Young, by the way. That's
Ashley.
I guarantee Sean Dyche is playing him on the wing.
I
guarantee he's going to put him on the left.
That is such a Sean Dyche signing.
Yeah. Well, maybe not on the left. He does love McNeil, doesn't he? That was his star boy at Burnley, but he's definitely going to put him on the right or something like that.
Something like that. So for Crystal Palace, Buendia and Gnonto, 2 really different players, but can both replace Zaha. Everton, who've you gone for?
Who have I put for Everton? This is a bit of a boring one, but I thought he's a bit of a Sean Dyche player.
Okay.
I put Solly March.
Okay.
I thought he can play. It's a similar role like we were saying before, like the left wing back, left mid. Can do a bit of a Sean Dyche role, as we're saying, and I don't know. I think he fits at Everton perfectly, and I don't think he's good enough to play for Brighton either.
Really?
I'm just not a huge fan of him. But I think he could do a good job in a Sean Dyche Everton side.
I think that's sort of a hot take nowadays. Solly March seems to be like a hippie's favourite at Brighton since De Zerbi's come in. He's been in FPL. He was really good towards the end of last season apart from that assist that got taken away.
But is he on there as a defender as well?
No.
Is he not?
No, he's a midfielder.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a midfielder. I think if they could get him out of Brighton, that's perfect. I'm not sure he'd be willing to leave, but I think that would be a perfect signing. I've just thought because Connor Cody, Yerry Mina have left, their centre-back options look a bit weak at the minute. They've got Tarkowski, Godfrey, Holgate and Keane. It just doesn't really give you much confidence. So I just thought get Armand Bella Kotchap.
It's a bit weird though, isn't it? It's fucking Sean Dyche and now he's got Keane and Tarkowski centre-backs. God.
I think he could use someone else though. So I think Bella Kotchap from Southampton.
Yeah, that'd be a great signing.
Really good signing. He's tall, he's big, he's strong, he's
only 20
fine on the ball.
Isn't he? 20 years old, 21.
And I think he could definitely do a job for Everton. There's loads of players from the relegated teams that deserve.
I was going to say, there's so many players in there that just kind of shows the standard in the league, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's
so many players who've gone down. It just deserve to play in the Premier.
That's the standard. Right, Fulham. This is one that I sort of struggled with as well in a weird way.
Yeah, I've gone for a boring one as well.
Yeah, I've had to pick 2 because the first one is so unbelievably boring. But Fred is the one that I've suggested. It's the only reason it feels boring because it is a good signing, but it just feels boring because they've been linked to him for a while now. They need someone to go alongside Polina. They've only got really Lukic, who they signed, I think, in January or maybe last summer, who can partner next to him. And I think Fred, as an engine in that midfield, could work really well. But because that's boring, I just thought, fuck it, Falari Balogun. I know you want to keep him, but I think if Mitrovic leaves, if Fulham can get their hands on Balogun, that's an incredible signing. That's got to go up there as one of the best of the window because he's.
I've gone the other way. I've put Nketiah for Mitrovic replacement.
Okay.
Because it seems like I've got a bit of an agenda against Nketiah here. I've put him in for Palace. I've put keep Balogun for Arsenal. I've literally sort of said to get rid of Nketiah 3 times, but just
hammer it home. Luke.
I just think he's really good, but
say
I
it with
just think
chest.
Balogun's better and he has more potential. So I just think Nketiah should just play for a decent Prem team.
Yeah, I think
Fulham's
that's a good
perfect
shout.
level for him.
And I think no doubt they will be looking at those kind of players when Mitrovic, well, if Mitrovic leaves. Liverpool they obviously need a midfielder for when Fabinho and Hendo leave, but they could also use someone maybe at right back or someone to back up Salah, a left-footed centre back or something. Which way have you gone?
Yeah, well, I've seen Henderson might be going to Saudi as well. So I've put is it Gravenberch or Gravenberch from Bayern? I think that'll be a perfect replacement. Or maybe not perfect replacement. They're not exactly the same player, but like a perfect signing Klopp can work on him and put him in that role. Yeah, I think it'd be perfect.
Oh my god, I wish I can fucking steal yours now. That is such a good shout. That is such an unbelievable shout. I remember he was being linked with Man United and clubs like that on loan from Bayern Munich because he's really not getting many chances there.
They do that with a lot. It's like remember Renato Sanchez at Swansea.
Yeah,
that
was oh my god, it's like a fever dream. Renato Sanchez at Swansea, one of the best young talents in Europe, is playing in Wales.
They've never been in the Prem since then as well. Like he got relegated with them, and they've never come back.
That's just crazy. I mean, I wish I could steal yours now because mine is, compared to that, really boring. I've just gone for Manu Kone, who's been linked with them copiously through the summer.
To be fair,
I think it'd be a good signing. And I know they're linked with Lavia, but I just think with Hendo and Fabinho leaving, I don't think they can afford to replace him with an 18, 19-year-old. Do you know what I mean? So I think Manu Kone, they do need a more defensive-minded player who's got a bit more experience. But I really wish I saw Gravenberch. That is such a good shout. But I don't think there's going to be many good shouts for this one, Luton, because I have no clue what is going.
Tell me one Luton player. I literally have no idea. Like
they've signed Tahith Chong.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, to be fair, I know him.
There you go. Ball knowledge.
Right, I've put.
It.
I've put Johnny Evans. Yeah, you know what I mean. He's good.
Yeah,
he's good. Apparently he's leaving Leicester on a free. He's a free agent now in here.
Yeah. He's actually training at United while he's looking for a move. I think that'd be a really good signing for them. He was really good for Leicester. I remember one season, I think it was him, Siyuncu, and someone else in the back three. It might have just been a back two. He had a really good season. I think he could really work for Luton. I've just gone for Dale Fry.
Oh yeah, no, that's a similar one. But it's not similar actually. Dale Fry is actually he's a lot younger, but
a lot younger. Plays for Middlesbrough.
Similar type of player, but Dale Fry could definitely build.
I think Dale Fry has been
to build up in the Premier League.
Exactly, and I think Luton have because they've signed Tahith Chong. They've signed Mads Anderson. He played for Barnsley. He was like a good Championship centre back when he played there. They've signed Ogbene, who played for Rotherham. He's like he got some really good numbers in the Championship. But I only really heard of Ogbene when Luton signed him. I sort of looked into him. I knew Mads Anderson because someone mentioned him in a Tifo video for Barnsley or something. But they are looking at that kind of player, like Championship players who are ready for a Premier League move. And I think Dale Fry probably fits that bill. But I think they could use some experience like Johnny Evans at centre back. Man City is another tough one, but for a different reason.
Yeah, it's just who
where do you improve on a treble-winning side?
I've literally just put bring Lavia back.
I've gone for the same.
Yeah, literally just might as well. Because all the big clubs are going in for him, and they've got the clause where they can interfere with the first offer, don't they?
Yeah.
Just get in there. Just get in as quick as you can.
I think it's hard to improve the team. So what you need to focus on doing is stopping any team from getting Lavia.
Yeah, exactly.
And it hasn't really worked out for Calvin Phillips.
I can't believe they actually sold him instead of loaning him. It was a really silly move.
Silly move. But I mean, it's City. They can just buy him back for loads and loads of money, and it won't even affect their bottom line. but I mean, Lavia's been linked with Liverpool and stuff, but like we said, just for City, it's just stopping anyone else from signing him. Calvin Phillips has been linked with Bayern Munich at one point because it just really hasn't worked out for him. So I think Lavia he's a much better fit at City than anywhere else, really. Manchester United is a tough one because we need quite a few players.
Yeah.
But where have you gone?
Well, I'll put two. I'll put the boring one. I'll put Lavia because obviously you just linked with him.
Yeah.
And you need a CDM.
Yeah.
And then I'll just put Tammy Abraham for the striker.
Yeah.
I think you've been looking for a striker since Ronaldo left, and I mean Weghorst was an absolute howler. Martial is just not cutting it, is he? Yeah. You don't really want to put Rashford up there, so it's just a case of you've got. Yeah. I think Abraham would be a perfect replacement. He's not slow. He's quite quick.
Yeah. He's quite
tall.
quick for his height. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea's one of their biggest mistakes, which is weird to say, one of their biggest mistakes in recent Premier League history was getting rid of Tammy Abraham. He was the only striker they had for a while who worked in his first season. He was their top scorer one season, and they decided to bring in Timo Werner.
And he did really well even in Werner's first season, and then they got rid of him. It's just like, come on.
Got rid of it was a stupid move, and I think he's been doing well at Roma for a couple of seasons now. He deserves a move to anywhere, just a big move. I think it could really work at Man United.
Yeah.
Ten Hag loves that big kind of striker. I've gone a different direction. It's someone I mentioned in the first podcast when we were talking about Man United, Kolo Muani. Because I mentioned him in the first podcast, I'm not going to spend too long on him. But my whole point with Muani is any striker is going to be a risk. So instead of thinking he's going to be our focal point, whether he gets goals or not is just sort of a mystery. Focus on getting the best out of Rashford. Yeah. Kolo Muani brings players in the game. He links with the wingers.
That's why I think it worked with Igalo. You know what I mean? I think he was just. I mean, Weghorst is just shit. That's why it didn't work with him.
But I'll never forget Weghorst. I'll never forget him. Right.
I'll never forget you.
And I will always be by my.
Right, we're gonna get copyrighted.
Yeah, let's just stop. Newcastle United.
Oh shit! Yeah, Liverpool.
I mean, they need some players in a few positions because they're not exactly Champions League ready.
I know they need a right winger.
Definitely need a right winger.
God, the note I put next to this. This must have been last night when we were looking at.
What we put next to it?
Oh yeah, Diaby. Need a right wing. He's perfect. That's literally all I've put. Yeah, I think Diaby.
Glazing Diaby.
Yeah, just perfect. Perfect. Well, not replacement for anyone, but they need a right winger. They're going into the Champions League.
Yeah.
Boy with a bit of experience in Europe.
Yeah.
He's like, what is he, 23?
Something like that. Yeah.
He's on the rise.
Yeah, strongly linked with Villa, but strongly linked with Newcastle.
Exactly. Why wouldn't he go to Villa?
Perfect.
To Newcastle.
Why wouldn't he go to Villa?
Why wouldn't he go to the Conference League?
Right. Well, I've gone a different direction, and compared to Diaby, I don't think he's comparable. Like Diaby is obviously the better player, but I've gone for Ismaila Sarr because I think he's needed a move for a while. Newcastle.
And he was linked with Liverpool, wasn't he, when Watford first went down a couple of years ago?
Yeah. And I think Ismaila Sarr is someone that can make the step up. Maybe not to the Champions League, so maybe it's a bit premature. But I think Eddie Howe likes players who off the ball do a lot of work, and Ismaila Sarr is very quick. So I think he can do that. Nottingham Forest was really tough for me because they've got so many players everywhere. So it's quite hard to see where they need someone.
Yeah, they've got a lot of players that they signed last year. But one place they don't really have a lot of depth or a lot of good depth, I thought, was like the number 10 position.
Yeah.
So, I agree. Another player who's gone down, I've gone for that Alcaraz. That is the Argentinian from Southampton.
Yeah, Southampton.
Yeah. They need strength in 10. Morgan Gibbs-White's really good. To be fair though, like he did really well at Sheffield before he signed. He had an all right season. I've seen he's done really well at the Euros or the World Cup?
Under 21s, Euros, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, it will have been the World Cup because Israel were in it and stuff like that. No, I mean he had a really good end to last season as well, Gibbs White, and I think that Alcaraz will be a good signing. I can't really say I know much about Alcaraz, but I think he scored against you, didn't he?
Yeah.
3-3, whatever. Was it 3? It was 3-3 in the end, wasn't it? Yeah. Just let that sink in for a bit. You lost the league, mate. Nottingham Forest. I've gone for Donny van der Beek because I agree with you. They need a number 10. Donny van der Beek can play there. Obviously, they need a more attacking midfielder than Freuler and Mangala and whatever they have. Van der Beek is linked with a ridiculous amount of clubs.
I think Van der Beek would be perfect, to be fair, because Gibbs White is really good going forward. And to be fair, I think they both actually offer quite a similar thing, to be fair. They're both like a bit of a Bruno kind of thing.
Yeah.
That kind of player.
Yeah. I mean, Van der Beek has played at 6 at times.
Yeah, both
really
Brunos.
versatile.
Bruno G as well. He's similar to that as well.
Yeah. But I think I think Van der Beek could be a good signing for them.
Yeah.
Sheffield United, I think they need a striker, but again, because it's a promoted team, I can't say I know loads about their squad. But where have you gone for Sheffield United?
I've put Kelechi Iheanacho.
Same.
Have you?
That is, yeah. What the fuck? Okay, well that's weird, but yeah, we both gone Iheanacho.
Yeah,
Why have you gone for?
I just think that they're needing a striker. There's a very long list, as we were saying, of players who've gone down.
Yeah.
Who need to stay up. And Kelechi Iheanacho, I think he's a really decent striker. And they'll be perfect for them. Perfect for a team coming up.
Yeah, I mean they've currently got Ryan Brewster, Oli McBurnie, but none of them really strike fear in the defence.
Remember Oli McBurnie? He had a fight in Knaresborough, didn't he?
Oh yeah. That was mental. Bloody hell, Oli McBurnie.
Calling you out for a fight as well, Oli McBurnie. Come on.
See, I can support the
Get
AJ
it on the
Shabil.
misfits.
I can support AJ Shabil. I can't support McBurnie. He'd
What?
bang you.
What the fuck? Come on, Oli McBurnie.
Oli McBurnie would beat you in a fight.
No. I'll have him. I'll have Oli McBurnie.
You're not going to have Oli McBurnie.
Get these gloves on. Get the hands going.
If you're fighting Oli McBurnie, I'm not going to go watch my brother get fucking flattened. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Cheers.
No, well, look, I have confidence that you can beat AJ Shabil.
Wait till you see. I'll. Come on. Oli McBurnie, mate. Make it happen.
But I don't think you'd beat Oli
Right,
McBurnie.
okay.
Like Oli McBurnie
Okay.
he's a tall striker. He's like what, 6 foot, over 6 foot.
Right. Okay. All right.
No, but I think that's AJ Shabil, Vic Starr, FaZe Rugg. You know that's the kind of
Right. Let's just leave this alone.
That's the kind of range you need to be looking at. Maybe
what? I need to be looking at the absolute penises.
Yeah,
or
maybe you go like older age, like Bold Martin or someone like that.
Yeah, all right. I'll fight Bold Martin.
I reckon you could take Bold Martin. Do you know what? Maybe Thogden as well. You could maybe take Thogden, but he's lanky.
I will beat the fuck out of Fogden. I would beat Fogden.
I'm not sure. Maybe. I think you probably would.
We'll do a tag team with Fogdad and Fogden, me and you. Come on, let's get it done. Come on.
We need to get our dad against Thogdad.
That'd be alright.
Oh my god. Isn't Thogdad called Stephen as well?
Is he?
I think yeah. Battle of the Stephens. Right. Well, anyway, away from that, don't fight Oli McBurnie, please. Tottenham Hotspur. I don't know why I've said their full name. Spurs. They need players sort of all over the pitch. They need fullbacks who can actually play at fullback. They need centre-backs who are good. They need midfielders who can do what Postecoglou wants. They need potentially a couple of wingers as well. So literally you could suggest anyone for any position and it would probably be right.
Yeah.
So what have you done?
I've seen Perisic and Sessegnon. It's not really strong at left back. So I've gone for a bit more of a solid defensive left back. He's not too defensive, but a solid defensively left back. Juan Bernat. Bit of experience, you know. He's I think he's heading on 30 now, but he's a really experienced player. Played at Bayern, PSG, so he's played a lot in the Champions League and stuff like that.
I forgot about Juan Bernat.
Yeah,
I completely forgot about him.
I think he'd be a great signing for them. To be fair,
I think he'd be a really
solid
good signing.
player to have. No risks really.
See, this one's really boring as well because they're already linked with him. But Tapsoba. They need a centre back. He plays for Leverkusen. Really good, really solid.
He's really fast as well.
He's really boring. Not much to say, but I'll just suggest another right now. Off the top of my head, you know, you heard it here first. This is never seen before.
Roll.
We're going off script, Luke. I think, like you said, they could use a fullback. So I'll suggest a right back then. Timothy Castagna.
Ooh. Yeah, he's good at left back as well.
Yeah, he can play both sides. He's got, you know, Postecoglou likes them to have similar profiles to midfield and winger, as I say all the time. Yeah. And I think Castagna is that.
Yeah, that'd be a perfect one.
Bernat is as well, and I think he's got that experience. He's played in the Champions League, stuff like that. West Ham. We're coming to the end of this now, but
I put a young midfielder. He's 22 years old, Youssouf Fofana. I don't know why I'm announcing it like a
22 years old, Youssouf Fofana. Yeah, I mean, I've been speaking like that for a lot of this, to be fair.
I think they need. Rice is gone. I think they need another young gun to get in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Souček is a solid option to fill that Rice role for a bit. Because I mean, that is his first season. If he can get back to that form, wow.
I mean, towards the end, they were playing Flynn Downs a couple of times last season, who might be all right, might be crap. I've never seen him play, but I just know he's played there. So he could be the next Deckers.
The next Deckers.
The next Deckers. I've gone a different direction because they do really need a midfielder. But Masuaku's left, and they've just got Cresswell, and they don't really have much pace at fullback. Yeah. Really. So I've gone for Kieran Tierney. I think he'd be a really good signing for West Ham. He's obviously.
I just couldn't have put it. Yeah, I want to keep him.
I think they need more pace at fullback. He's quick. He can do sort of the defensive job that David Moyes wants him to do, and he can do what sort of Cresswell could do as well. Is whip some balls into the box, be on set pieces a bit, bombing down that left channel. I think he could be really good. I've just noticed as well. Cresswell joined from Arsenal, didn't he?
Cresswell,
that's where he played for Arsenal, didn't he?
Did he?
Am I thinking of someone else?
Right, you're thinking of Luke Ayling or something. Luke Ayling played for Arsenal. He's like a random.
No. I'm sure I'm.
No, Cresswell didn't.
No, what? Who's the centre back? I'm sure. No, wait. Am I just being?
Cresswell, I swear he didn't play for Arsenal.
Am I just being stupid? Come on. I'm sure he played for Arsenal. I know I'm thinking of someone else as well, but I'm.
Plays for Liverpool. He's played for Tranmere, Ipswich, and West Ham. No, it's
he's
not.
never. Wait, so who?
Aaron Cresswell played for.
No, I'm getting him mixed. Who's that centre back that? What the fuck is his name?
What, he played for West Ham? An ex-Arsenal centre back. There isn't one, is there?
No, I don't think he played for.
Excuse me, bitch.
Alexa, shut your mouth.
Stupid cow.
Have a lovely day. Passive
Fuck off,
aggressive.
you cheeky
What
bitch.
are you doing?
You know what I mean?
Interrupting the.
Who the fuck? Right, who are you on about?
There's a centre back that played for you. I can picture his face. He looks like Cresswell. I'm sure. Oh no, it's a right back. What's his name?
Carl Jenkinson.
That's the fucking one. I've had him mixed up with Cresswell for years. I thought Cresswell was the one that played for Arsenal.
No, Carl Jenkinson. Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about him.
Oh my fucking god.
That's a good signing for Luton.
Carl.
There you go.
There you go.
No, I'm pretty sure he plays in non-league now.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess scrap the Arsenal thing, but I still think Kieran Tierney would be a good signing. And then finishing off on Wolves.
Big Wolves. Put João Mario at right back, not the bald one who played for West Ham. Is he at Inter Milan or something like that? I can't remember where he is. Or he's in Portugal or something. I can't remember where he is. But I've seen him play for Portugal. That's the only reason I know him.
What, João Mario? Oh no, yeah, he plays for Porto.
Oh, Porto. Yeah. I know he played somewhere. I've only ever seen him play for Portugal.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks like a great right back.
Great right. He's really attacking.
He's really versatile as well. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
So I think
I've gone for Alex Scott. I don't think I can support that, Luke. He plays for Bristol City. I'm terrified now. You've really thrown me off. Alex Scott plays for Bristol City. He's a young English midfielder. He's been linked with Palace, Wolves, loads of big clubs. loads of big clubs. I think he'd be a really, really good signing. I think that was a roller coaster of an episode.
Yeah. We've called enough people out there, I think.
I kind of wish there was wine in here now.
Yeah, mine's empty.
Yours is empty. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't end our careers because of Luke.